Good evening and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. This is Kristen, and I am guessing that many, if not all of you, have a drawer or a bin or a bucket or an envelope that looks something like this. This is my patterned paper scraps, and I try and keep like the ones that go to kits or books kind of together, like I've clipped them together in the past or put them back in the book until they became skinny strips. Like this big I would keep in the book, but when they got to be little skinny things like this or little small pieces that kept falling out, I would just take them out. So today I'm going to show you one way that you can make a page using literally scraps, and I don't mean big pieces like this that are good for like layers and things like that. I mean like this, these little itty bitty strips, and this I'll actually, some of these I'll trim down. So this is what I'm working with. You can be picky and pick like specific color schemes, like if you're wanting something beachy, then you can do some green pattern paper with some blue and tan. But me, today I'm going to be making a page for a couple of these pictures for when my daughter moved out of off campus, and so it's kind of like a cleaning up and packing up. So I decided I'm going to use this. I cannot remember for the life of me what brand this is. I have an entire stack of them. I think it is American Crafts. So anyway, I'm going to use this side. I do not need the watermelons. So this green, and I really wanted a contrasting color so all of my stuff would come out really good. And I had some white and black and some white based and black based. I didn't want to do a white or a black, so I thought this yellow would be good. However I decide for it to go. So I'm going to start by setting my handy dandy drawer, and you all can think that that is the only drawer of scraps I have and think that's not too bad, but that is the scraps of pattern paper. That has nothing to do with solids, has nothing to do with bigger pieces, has nothing to do with little bitty pieces or the other bin that I have in the other room. Okay, so here I am going to, this is just going to make things so much easier. Instead of gluing, this is part of the problem. You don't have to glue all this down. I mean, that is super time consuming. So for me, I know that I'm going to put them coming from underneath this. So that's why this is something I can do. So I know that it is going to be this far over, and some pieces are super short. So I'm going to lay this piece of double-sided tape right here towards the very end of where this paper would lie. And then I'm going to just take it straight up the page. Okay, as straight as I know how to be, because that's not, I don't do straight. All right, now set that aside. Now make sure this is down, and I will pull this up like that. Now all I'm gonna do, so easy, is start laying these down. Now listen, I am not picky. I am not doing them in any form or fashion. I mean, I don't want to do like pink too close, like something similar too close, or at least not exactly the same. I don't care if it's thin or fat. I don't care how far out it comes. This is a strip off of that. So I will go ahead and put this watermelon piece here because I know that it's going to match the color, even though it totally does not matter. I'm going to use all these. Let's see, I think this piece will stand out better. So the only thing you want to do is make sure that it's coming out far enough to where you're like, this is, my piece is 4 inches. So I want to make sure that my paper that I'm laying down comes out past the 4-inch mark. Of course it's on the 10 because I'm in the middle of my mat. So these are itty bitty little pieces. that I trimmed off the side of something. Oh, that's a duplicate. And I don't care to put duplicates down. I just don't want to put them right next to each other. So that is not a duplicate. And there's that. And I would like to have an off and on space in between. I don't want tons of space necessarily, but a little bit of space in between is good. It doesn't matter how far over this direction it is, because we're gonna be getting rid of that. It doesn't have to be even. That's too close to that. Let's do, nope, that's too close to that color too. All right, let's do this one. Because once it's down here, you could trim this end or this end if there was any reason to. And once, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. Like, you just put it down. Do I want the skinny end? Do I want the fat end? I think we'll do the fat end. And, you know, you just go with it. It can be however far over you want it to be. It can be whatever color you want it to be. It could have patterns. It could touch. It doesn't have to touch. You do whatever feels good. I could put this little point out if I want. Nope, that's too, well, I could trim that. I can use all the same paper. Like if you've got a ton of something from where you've like just done this huge like series of pages with the same like style or brand. I know when you use like the same like style or brand of paper or the same designer, that, you know, there's a good chance you're gonna have a ton. That's the same paper I'm using. You're gonna have a ton of that, whatever it is that you use. Let's see, I've already got 2 white pieces on here. This one is white, but it's got like this cool colors. This one came from one of my favorite paper pads that I will be using when I document my Disney book, because it's got all those really neat colors that you love from Disney, and all the bold, bright. Oh, I love it. And this one came from a Park Lane, something about the beach. I only remember certain papers. A lot of these are from the same book, like a lot of these purple ones like this. That's what started all of this, honestly, was the paper pad that this came out of. I used a ton of things from it. Here's another one. And I love the paper. It was really pretty. It's like a real thin, like it's not cardstock or anything. It's just regular paper. And it's super pretty. Lots of purples and greens. This is from that. This one. I think this one. And lots of really pretty colors. And I really enjoyed using it. But then, because like I was doing a lot of, since it was not cardstock, I was using a lot of it for, I was making the borders with cardstock and then trimming an inch or half an inch or whatever off the the top of the paper. So then I had all these itty bitty little scraps. Okay, so here is how it looks. Now look, that does not look fabulous, does it? No. So I'm going to adhere this down here. Now look, you can see all those ends. You could leave these up like this and like the ends that you want them to be. You could trim them. You could fishtail them. You could do so many different things with this design. Like I said, you could design it to where it matches whatever theme you're doing. If it is the beach, if it's like a color theme situation where, you know, you were trying to match your pictures. I mean, if you all are anything like me, and I highly doubt you have as many crazy scraps as I do, if you're anything like me, you've got tons and tons of scraps. I mean, a drawers full, bins full. I mean, tons. Or the other thing that you could do is, if you don't really keep a lot of scraps, and maybe you just have a lot of the branding strips, you could just take your branding strips and you can leave them big and wide. Like I have some branding strips that are an inch or so, and then I have other branding strips that are like some of these are branding strips. I think this one is a branding strip because it's just like a little notepad pretty much. Okay, so the pictures that I want to use are, like I said, of my daughter's room getting cleaned out. And because there is so much busy back behind there, I think what I think what I want to do, pardon that crazy noise, the chair that I sit in is makes a creak every time I move. It is old as could be, and every time I move it creaks, which is why I typically do not scrapbook in my crafting room while my husband is downstairs sleeping, because between rolling around on the floor and I mean the chair, not me. I don't do much of that anymore. And the hardwood floors and everything. And then of course I am not the most graceful. I'm just taking this double-sided tape off of this picture, sorry. I am not the most graceful person that you'll ever meet. So, you know, I drop things. I do. I am willing to admit that. So, yeah. So, every time I move around, this chair makes all these funny noises. So, I just wanted to let all of you know that that is not me making weird noises. It's my chair. Like, makes these little dink sounds, which is so strange sounding. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this with my scissors. I normally cut with my paper trimmer. I have a Creative Memories one and I love it. But I started this video and realized after I started this video that it is in the other room. Because at night, like I said, I cannot scrapbook in my crafting space because my husband is downstairs sleeping. So please do not mind my terrible cutting skills. I am the worst at cutting. Like, I can't cut a straight line for anything. I mean, I have trimmers for a reason. All right, there's her empty-ish room. I should have honestly taken a before and after picture because she decided to take the semester off because they were doing all virtual classes and she did not like that, which I totally get because that would not have gone over well with me either. And so she didn't know when she left the semester before that she would be coming home and staying home. So we went back and she had not packed a thing. And this was her freshman year, so she acquired a lot of stuff. I mean, she's a 19-year-old girl, and I'm not trying to say that girls have more stuff than boys, because I do know some boys that have more stuff than most of the girls I know. But she acquired a lot of stuff. Okay, so I have put double-sided tape on the back of here, and now I'm gonna just figure out a placement. I don't want to cover all my great scraps up because, like, that's the whole point of them being here. I don't want to cover up my pictures too much either, but because this is kind of a lackadaisical type of page, I can put them kind of wherever I want and in whatever, you know, way I want. So I don't mind them being cockeyed. And then what I will do is I will go back with one of my Zig memory pins, or I also have a Tombow glue pen that I love, and I will go through in any of these that are, especially the ones that are flying up, I'll probably just tack down behind there, But this other, I'm going to put some embellishments on here about going away to school, and her residence hall that she lived in. I have lots of fun college life embellishments that I have saved for different things. So I will trim these out. And oh, I do not want to use that. And put them on here. And I don't need that. She did not have a roommate. Tempted to put this on here because I swear we were there for hours cleaning out her room because it was a disaster. And then I will probably call this mostly done, except I will add some journaling probably here. Maybe put a tag here instead. And then I will make a title on my Cricut this evening or tomorrow after work that says something like, I have no idea. It'll have to be something to encompass the absolute mess that was in this room. Like, I don't even have a picture. I totally should have taken a picture. Bless her heart. So, anyway, this is the idea, but for the most part, I really just wanted you all to have this idea of a way to use up scraps, because I literally took some of these. I was about to toss them because my scrap bin was going a little crazy, and when I closed the drawer, things would come out. So I was trying to get it all set up. So this, I mean, you saw it, this piece is this long, you know, it's like 3 inches. So if you hate to throw stuff away, especially some of this really great pattern paper, then this is a great way, and you can turn this any way you want. You could get all greens and do a green trim down here at the bottom and do a bunch of green pattern papers like these and do like a grass theme, and then put some like park pictures on here, you know, just any. Or you could turn it this way and do like a blue strip and a white strip, and then some blue pattern paper, and it could be like on a rainy day puddle jumping kind of thing. I mean, there's just so many different things that you can do to use up scraps so you don't feel like you're wasting or throwing away something that you could totally use. And then there are people out there who actually throw these away, and I just commend you and shake my finger at you, because, you know, you're wasting money and stuff. So that is just an idea that I had, thought I would share. I hope that this helps for you to find something that to do with all your scraps. So I hope you have a fantastic night, and I will see you all very soon. Happy scrapping.